All right, guys, so we're back today and we are talking about believers and the wealth. So, when you're a believer, you should not look at wealth the same way that a non believer looks at wealth. Because as a believer, we know that wealth is meant to be shared and multiplied for the benefit of others. And that's the most simplistic way that I have ever heard it put. And that came by way of one of my previous devotionals. So I can't take credit for that, but it is a beautiful way to just summarize everything concerning wealth and how it was intended for us to utilize it. It's not meant for us to store up, as evident by the scripture that tells us to not store up earthly treasures because they'll, rot and the moths will, come and destroy them. And so, with this, wealth requires several different things. Wealth requires financial education and understanding how you're supposed to use your finances and resources, not just making money. And I know that this is something that we are taught to do. Oh, well, you should have enough money to do what it is that you desire to do. No, we're supposed to be investing it. We're supposed to be wise with everything that we get. Everything that we have is supposed to be fruitful. It is supposed to further enhance the kingdom. It's not supposed to just be so that we can just live check to check or be stagnant. And then it also requires an understanding of how you use your gifts to produce and be creative. Okay? So, not being robotic like we've been taught, but you're going to be creative and you're going to allow the output which can bring you that profit for your hobbies, for the things you're naturally good at, and produce that solid foundation of, okay, now that I have a secure fund, how do I grow that? How do I utilize that to distribute to all the areas that I'm called to further enhance the kingdom, to use my gifts and not just sit on them so that I lose them one day or that they're taken away from me, because we know that that happens throughout scripture as well. And then you also are required to learn. So, learning how to be sufficient during your crisis occurrences, reinventing yourself, adapting to different crises moments, using your creativity. This might come by way of a new program, launching a business, in job loss, or the reduction of your income. So, say that there's a different um, problematic area and then it causes you to have a reduction in your income. You need to know how to be adaptive to that instance and how to reinvent yourself, how to flip it, how to make it work for you. You are not to just work for money. That was never the goal. That was never the desire. That was never the intent. You were supposed to be creative with it, but in achieving wealth, it requires for you to know how to go and to maneuver that in a way such that it's growing. So your money should be an asset, not a liability, and you shouldn't just be out there spending it. Then you're also going to want to make sure that you're having faith in the Most High's abilities, not the stock market, not what people are telling you, not worldly circumstances, any of these things. Because when you do it that way, that is not the Most High's way. He doesn't do things that the way the world does. So you need to be mindful of that when it comes to your wealth. So yes, there are a lot of good you know wealthy or rich quick schemes and books and self-help things like that, but you need to base your financial stability and your wealth, your earnings, and how you distribute that, how you grow it, based off of his instructions, not the worldly way of doing things. And then lastly, you're going to want to make sure that your faith in efforts producing the fruitful harvest are where they're supposed to be. You have to have faith in things that you can't see. So if you know that you've been called to open up, we'll just say a child care center, then you need to make sure that you are faithful that it is going to come to that fruition and that it's going to produce a fruitful harvest, because there's power in your thoughts. Your thoughts become a part of your speech, and your speech has power in your words are speaking those things into existence. So be mindful of your faith in the efforts in producing the fruitful harvest of whatever is linked to your gift. And then finally, understanding where the increase in the riches and wealth come from, which is above. We know that it doesn't come from us, that it's not something that we produce, but he gives the riches and the wealth and the prosperity. And it doesn't come with pain. So that is the believer's wealth. um, summarization of what it is that you should be doing towards achieving wealth, attaining wealth. I know that a lot of people are struggling out here. I know a lot of people are going through different hardships financially, just life occurrences. A lot of different things are happening in everybody's lives, and everybody has different problems. But look at your life. Look at your finances. Look at the ways that you're attacked spiritually, and dissect it. You have to take time to do these things, because without you doing that, you can't possibly know how you're supposed to be battling or coming against the enemy in prayer, and in reading your scriptures, what things you should be applying, what things you should be removing, if you don't know, if you don't take the time to do your legwork. So I hope this video reaches those that need it. It's been a pleasure to just release this to you guys. And remember that a believer's wealth is not that